You know, some days I struggle to understand, to grasp, to comprehend how liberals are able to have the stronghold that they do and make the gains that they do and hold the power and clout that they have. Because when they open their mouths, it's so incredibly, what's the word I'm groping for here? Stupid. Their ideas are just idiotically stupid. The mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, has had a come to Jesus moment. He now knows how we can deal with the migrant crisis, put them to work, and make it work to our benefit. And I'm not kidding in the solution that he has come up with.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth. Somebody to the top of the line.
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty, and this is the Afternoon Drive. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That'll give you notification of my rants, my ravings, and, my undeniably flawless reasonings. Please like and share this video. That's how we get the word out that we're here. Thank you for joining us on the Afternoon Drive. It wasn't all that long ago that Mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, said that it was a crisis having all of these migrants. They were destroying the city. They were destroying the hotels that they were being put up in. They were committing just wanton crime on the streets, just randomly punching people out, beating them to death, killing police officers, etc., etc., etc. But you see, Eric is part of the political left. And one thing the political left doesn't do is they don't speak out publicly against one another or the bad policies. Everybody is to walk in lockstep and repeat the same talking points and the same narrative over and over and over. And when Eric thought he was actually free from the plantation, Obama Biden reminded him really fast who the master was. And remember, the FBI was going after Eric Adams and confiscated his cell phones and had raided the mayor's mansion. Now, all of a sudden, Eric Adams is right back in line. He's back on the plantation of liberal thought, liberal think, and liberal ideology. He was the one that came up with the brilliant idea, let's give every illegal in New York a debit card, a credit card, $1,000. My, oh my. We can't solve the homeless problem. We can't solve the fact that our own citizens don't have health insurance, but we can give people who aren't even supposed to be here a credit card. And a credit card they never actually have to pay for. You pay for it. I pay for it. We pay for it. The taxpayers of New York City can't even send their kids to school because a lot of the schools are being closed to the people who live there, closed to the students who actually need to go there, closed to the young people in those communities to be able to have a gym and a rec center and organized activities. They're being closed to them so that they can move illegals in and house them there. So what is the newest brain scheme that Eric Adams has to alleviate some of the financial pressure that the migrants are creating? Listen to this and know this is not a Saturday Night Live skit. This is not Babylon Bee. This is liberalism in action.
If we had a migrant and asylum seeker plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards?
So because they can swim across the Rio Grande and come into the country illegally, let's make them lifeguards. I don't even know what to say here.
Sell crazy someplace else.
we're all stocked up here.
That's actually too kind to call this crazy. It's not crazy. It is off the charts, bat crap, insane. Again, they've learned nothing. They hear nothing. They know that the American people are upset over the economy and the border. Those are the two number one and number two issues on the American voters' mind, including young people. The Democrat Party is hemorrhaging support everywhere. So what do? Do they close the border? No. We're going to keep the border open. We're just going to give them jobs that nobody else wants to be a lifeguard. What? You don't know if you're giving pedophiles an opportunity to prey on the beach. You don't know anything about these people because they come here undocumented. You really think that the criminals that these countries are releasing into our nation, the terrorists, the just dregs of their own society that they are unloading and exporting here, you really think they would make good lifeguards, huh? We're just going to make a new, Frankie Avalon, Annette Funicello beach movie, only, now instead of just hanging 10 and riding in on a surfboard to some real cheesy surf music, now he's going to have enchiladas and tacos coming in on a surfboard. What? Honestly, you just can't make this up. They're not supposed to be here. If you want to eliminate the migrant crisis, there's two things that you do. Close the border, that's number one. And what do you think number two is? Round up the people who aren't supposed to be here and send them back to whence they came from. But no. Liberalism has a different way to handle this.
If we had a migrant and asylum seeker plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards?
And then you and I, the American people, we are supposed to ooh and ah over this brilliant idea and then line up and say, what other great ideas do you have?
You live here?
Yes.
Well, maybe you know what a zombie is.
When a person dies and is buried, it seems there's certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
How horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
And when Joe Biden gets hit with the reality by a CNN reporter that the American people are frustrated with the economy, rent is 50% more, groceries are 50% more, inflation is out of control. These are all problems that Biden and Bidenomics created, by the way. People are scared about the crime, the out-of-control crime, the fact that jobs are being taken up by illegals, and this is the answer. Beach blanket bingo with Javier and Raul. This is the answer.
Beach blanket bingo. Beach blanket bingo. Beach blanket bingo. That's the name of the game.
Joe Biden, in one of those moments where the cognitive clouds lift and actually the truth pops out of his mouth, and then he's got to kind of rethink, regroup. Well, it happened. You and I know why they don't want the border closed. They don't want the border closed because they're cooking up a scheme right now. The polls, everything is Trump is poised for a landslide the likes of which we have never seen. The vast majority of young voters are swaying to Donald Trump. Black voters, Donald Trump is up 20 points. He's carrying 20% Political experts will say for the Democrats, if they were to lose 14% or more of the black vote, it's over. Trump is at 20. 20% of the black vote he has pulled away from Joe Biden and the Democrats. Same thing with the Hispanic vote. So, the reason they want the illegals here, it isn't just they want to give them jobs as lifeguards. They're going to set it up for them to vote. And Joe Biden said so.
It's a little bit like back in the 1840s when the Great Exodus from Ireland because of the famine and the way Irish Catholics were treated. We said, no, we don't need any more of those. There was a large influx. There's even a bigger influx now in terms of Hispanic voters or Hispanic citizens who want to become citizens. So it's just enormously important.
Hispanic citizenship. No, you said these Hispanic voters, these illegal voters.
It's a little bit like back in the 1840s when the Great Exodus from Ireland because of the famine and the way Irish Catholics were treated. We said, no, we don't need any more of those. There was a large influx. There's even a bigger influx now in terms of Hispanic voters or Hispanic citizens who want to become citizens. So it's just enormously important.
Thank you for telling us what we already knew. It's kind of like vindication. All the time that we are called on the right, we get referred to as the conspiracy nuts. That all changed now that we're on in post-Rovid. Because everything we said was fact. Even my own son the other day, going through one of his yearbooks and pictures of them doing something at their college, and they're all outside, wearing the hat. And he said, what were we thinking? We were outside. I said, yeah, I think somebody that looks a lot like me and sounds a lot like me and that you refer to as Dad said that at the time. And you told me, Dad, God follows home. We were. Somebody else was following a narrative. And I am getting sick and tired now of the Bill Maher's and the others, pretending now that, all of this stuff we were told it really did do more harm than good, locking the schools down and locking people down. It was, and there was the potential for love potion number 9 to actually injure people and hurt people. And now we're finding out that really the death toll was not quite the way they represent. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the oops, my bad. I don't want to hear it. I want Fauci in jail, but that's never going to happen. The people that are responsible for all this will never be held into account. We know the real reason all this was allowed to get to where it got. To kill the economy, to kill the chances for Trump's reelection. Boom. Done. No more complicated than that. But they got so high on their power and being able to mandate and not have to worry about passing legislation and preying on the fears of the people. It was a good test run for how far can we really push our authoritarianism? But Donald Trump is the existential threat to democracy, not Joe Biden or these blue state governors and their Rovid policies. We knew it. We knew at the time what was happening. We knew that there was a medication that worked. People didn't have to get super sick. They didn't have to die. But, of course, it was horse paste, horse dewormer. We knew. We knew. We knew. We knew. And, of course, the lying legacy, corporate, corrupt mainstream media, of course, they're going to share that propaganda repeatedly over and over and over. Who is it that pays for the news?
Good Morning America is brought to you by Pfizer.
CBS Health Watch sponsored by Pfizer.
Anderson Cooper 360. Brought to you by Pfizer.
And so now Joe Biden has let the cat out of the bag, which makes it even more important now that the GOP, members of Congress, the American people step up, put pressure on. You must provide proof of citizenship to vote. Period.